Are you ready? Yeah. Cool. Are you ready? Awesome.
Whoa! G'day, Aussie gamers. This is the Aussie Gamers Express Video Game Podcast. The podcast that brings you news, reviews, and video game-themed fun. Get yourselves set. It's time to hand you over to your hosts, Lucas and Aaron, to display a complete disregard for political correctness.
Hello everyone, I am Lucas and also known as LewkOne, and this is episode 120. Today is Friday the 1st of April 2016, something I would also like to call Cap Flap Friday. Also with me is my good friend Aaron, also known as Red. Welcome back, mate, how are you?
Red, wicked.
Fantastic. Before we start, here's this week's show in preview. First up, we'll have video game discussion. We're going to talk about some cool games that we've been playing. Probably a little bit similar to the last couple of weeks. After that, we'll have video game news. And in this week's news, we've got PlayStation Plus and games with gold for April. Watching paint dry. That's going to be exciting. PlayStation 4.5 discussion. Far Cry Primadeath. And Final Fantasy 15 news, and we'll finish it up. Red, you've got some stuff on Grand Theft Auto 6, some rumours and confirmations. I'm keen to hear what you've got to say about that one. Now, quickly before we move on to video game discussion, I just want to make a comment early on the show that this is, Red, I told you we're going to have a break for a couple of weeks.
Yes.
So we are going to be going away for a couple of weeks before returning again with our new podcast, which will cost $4.99 per episode.
And $1 for every notch of volume.
Yes. Or you can subscribe to us for a small fee of $39.95 a month, and that way you can pay for all our shit so we don't have to.
I'm down with that.
I'm sure you would be.
So you and I will be the only subscribers, so I'll be paying for your shit and you'll be paying for mine.
That would end up, because I know I wouldn't pay for my ramblings.
Or if you take the opportunity of listening to this show before the break, you can subscribe for absolutely nothing across bloody all of them, isn't it? Bloody tune in.
Yeah, well, that's it. TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, blah, blah, blah. Website, aussiegamersexpress.com. I found out that .com.au works as well. I didn't realise we actually got that working, but it does.
Yeah, nice. So jump on it now before we go all Bethesda on you.
Yeah, that's it. No, it's happy April Fool's Day, Red. That's all bullshit if you didn't pick it already. Actually, a little bit was true. We are going on a 2-week break after this episode, so we'll be back in a couple of weeks with episode 121. We are going to regroup and come back with something stronger than ever. All right, so I don't think I mentioned after the news we'll have What's That Sound in Red Shout as well. Video game discussion. Red!
Yes! Do you want to guess?
Rainbow Six Division.
Yeah.
Now, have you played any Rainbow Six?
Not this week.
What's that game called? What is it? Never heard of it.
Yeah, I've been playing Tom Clancy's Destiny.
Version.
Fuck, the grind is real. I don't know whether I'm a hypocrite or just a prick, you know. I used to whinge about the grind of Destiny, but I'm actually relishing the grind of the Division, if you know what I mean. Like, I still done it on Destiny. I'd whinge and bitch, and it's like being married. You would complain and sook and grizzle about your wife, but you still love her. But, yeah, well, as early as today, we got the release date and everything for Incursions, which is the 12th of April. So that could be the 13th in Australia, so 12th, 13th, that weekend there, or that period there, so I've been stuck into it all week. I don't know what to say, how to make this any more boring than last week. Challenge modes are now getting a lot better, a lot easier. I think we've got a real definition of classes now, being the glass cannon or the high DPS dealer. You got your tank and you got your medic, and then a mixture, which will make you good foursome. So
Yeah.
I'm proud. I'm very proud. I'm very, very chuffed. You've had fuck all time compared to the likes of myself and Ozaniki.
Oh yeah, Red. You know how we were bringing up the stats on the Uplay or whatever it's called website?
Yeah.
Well, for me, it wasn't showing my PlayStation stats.
Mm.
Well, I got it to work. So what the problem was, it was only showing my PC stats because I wasn't logged into Ubisoft on my PlayStation 4. So it wasn't updating any of my stats. So I logged in last night, Weeksy's suggestion, good old Weeksy, the brain box that he can be sometimes. And probably an hour later I checked it and all my statistics were there. The only thing is it doesn't show your PlayStation friends list. It shows your Ubisoft friends list.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So yeah, if you want to see your friends' statistics, you have to friend them using the Ubisoft website. So you have to be friends on that. And so you and I became friends last night. You
Yes.
You popped up on the top of every single fucking list of stats that it showed. And I think you were probably, at minimum, double everybody else that I had on this. I played a measly 75 hours, and I think yours was like 8,943 or something.
Now, what have I got? Here we go. I've got the stats sitting here right in front of me now.
Oh, cool. What do you
Yeah, you have 4.7 out. No, that's got to be PC.
That's the PC, 4.7 hours.
I got 195.5.
Yeah, because I'm 75 hours on the PS4.
Please excuse me. Yeah, this is definitely PC because of the completion rate and everything's not showing up, which I don't know how to change on my end to be able to see it. So that means Rogue. I gave you a rogue agent kill number last night, which was incorrect. But have you gone into the DZ on your computer?
No, I haven't gotten into the DZ on my computer. However, I looked at my statistics for the PS4 and it's correct. I've got 2 rogue kills.
It's a lie. You've got
No,
3.
it's 3. Sorry, 3. I got 3. Woohoo!
That's right. Oh, if I can take a little moment to wallow in some accomplishment, I got the platinum this week.
Oh, yes, you did. You sure did, Red. Platinumed the Division. Well done.
Long time in between platinums, to be honest, but yeah, some games you just know deserve it.
Yeah, I'm 1 trophy shy.
We'll get you there.
That's your 20 rogues.
But yeah, we'll boost that.
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
You'll have it before we come back from the break, definitely. Anyway, whether it's legit or boosting. So,
Cool.
Yeah. What more can I say about the division? We're getting slightly stronger with every session. I really think at the moment, though, DZ is looking after us a little bit. It's a little bit unbalanced when someone leaves. It doesn't really matter how strong they are when they leave. It's just that extra point of aggro, if you know what I mean. It's someone extra for someone to shoot at. So when the fire's being concentrated on you, DZ 2, 3, and 4 can become tricksy. And if you just run out of the bloody after refueling and you use 5, 6 clips to bring down a mob and a med kit, well, you've just wasted 10 bloody minutes. You got to go back, restock, come back out, sort of thing. And it can be counterintuitive. So I'm thinking that the challenging mission grind is the way to go, because you're guaranteed yellows, which may or may not suit your build, but you're guaranteed Phoenix coins and materials from breaking them down. So I'm feeling that for a couple of sessions now, trying to get myself up just a little bit higher. I've seen some streams where people are running like 170 DPS, 100 health, and well, fuck all skill power. So in turn, to be effective, you've got to go back to the crafting station and just keep re-rolling your guns to get the perks you want with the talents you want with the, you know how you got the unlock parameters, like so much electronics or so much stamina and shit like that. get them all in the right order so they all unlock, so you're able to put all your eggs in one or two baskets instead of trying to level them out, if you know what I mean. So that's basically all I can say about that. Just probably another 30, 40, 50 hours this week, letting the team down. And I've also had the enormous pleasure after just viewing a trailer and then you going, hey man, there's this to check out if you want. Republic, I think is how we pronounce it.
I think the normal way would just be to say Republic, but it could also be pronounced Republic.
Yeah, well, the Morelle, so because she's French, so she says Republic.
Yeah.
And then Hope will say Republic, and I'm like, but it's IQUE, and I feel like being just a little bit spiffy, so it's I got Republic from Target, So. No, that's not true. Digital only. It's a conversion from mobile devices.
Yeah, it's an iOS and Android game.
You can't even say handheld because we'd automatically go to the Vitas and the likes of that, but it's
mobile
phones and tablets.
Yeah.
And it's come across well, I believe. In a nutshell, you're trying to...
Unique game, this Republic.
From Target. Mm-hmm. But in a nutshell, it's trying to sell the anti-communists in a communist society, if you know what I mean, within a confined setting of a compound, which is at the moment put onto us to be like the last surviving sort of civilized group of people within a it hasn't elaborated yet, but like a war-torn, or it could be a virus-torn country on the outside. Something like what they tried to sell to you in the movie The Island, where you got a utopia that was spared from Armageddon. But with that, and I did use the word communist, and that's really funny considering the game's called Republic, it all ties in very, very well because obviously with a communist state like that and with a diluted mind, like being brainwashed into believing that it's the last safe place, then the people that run the place really have no governing rules to how they treat you. So there's quarantine, and there's propaganda, there's contraband material that and most of the contraband material is either educational, entertaining, or religious in nature. You know what I mean? So it's a big communist regime, and you're trying to fight against it. And the gameplay itself is a little bit dicky to start off with, but that's probably because it's a handheld game. But you actually use the security system of the facility in order to scout ahead, to monitor. So I should say it's a stealth game. Obviously, you're trying to stealth your way around places, create a bit of a guerrilla warfare sort of situation and disrupt everything. So use your security cameras and you make your way through, whether you want to upgrade your abilities to be able to distract a guard or see what their route is, the way they were walking around and everything like that. And it's like a big maze going from one end to the other with the small objectives in the middle and a whole lot of story and a whole lot of... The subplot to the whole game is how cool Kickstarter and indie games are. There's a lot of homage and a lot of respect shown to the indie community. So,
but I think we've got to give it a little bit more credit where it comes to the actual gameplay sort of things, because it's not a normal game where you're like a third person over the shoulder camera or anything like that. It is a little bit like the original Resident Evil games where you've got set camera positions, but they're not fixed. The camera positions that you get as you play through the game are all CCTV locations, and you can they're motorized cameras, so you can move the cameras, pan them around, and things like that. So you play as Hope, who's this girl who you're helping to escape, and you help by directing her, so you can scout out ahead by switching cameras, kind of like Watch Dogs. You can switch camera to camera to have a look at where the enemies are up ahead, and then you use those cameras to actually see where you're going to direct Hope, because you actually control Hope as well as the camera. So the camera is you, and the camera is a character in the game, and Hope is a character in the game that you actually physically play as. And using the cameras, like Watch Dogs again, you hack into terminals, doors, and you can also read bios of enemies, etc. And that's the unique part of it, where the character and the cameras are completely separate. So you could move your character well out of the camera. It will sometimes automatically flick to another camera, or if you click one of the sticks, you can have it automatically choose a different camera that might be better. But you can manually do all that stuff. And I just think that as much as you said it was a bit dicky to start off with, I would agree with you that it's something that'll take a little bit of time to get used to, because it is a bit strange having the character and camera angles disconnected like that.
Yeah.
But it brings a uniqueness to the game that is very intriguing. I think that it's made fantastic. I can't quite fathom how it would have worked on like a
touchscreen.
Yeah, being a touchscreen, whether you just tapped where she was to move, but you've got full control over her on the PlayStation 4. But yeah, the game goes quite well. I mean, there's a lot of points in the game where you can tell, okay, this is definitely,
slightly underpolished.
Yeah, it comes from a lower powered area, but it still translates quite well with the graphics and things like that to the PlayStation 4, and also plays quite well, like the actual gameplay parts. There's no real combat to be seen that I've seen so far. It's really just pepper spray the dudes if you've got a canister.
And a taser.
Which will get away. Oh, there's a taser as well?
Yep.
So it basically just gives you a chance to run away. Yeah, look, it's quite a good game for what it is.
The reason I say Dickie, you remember when you went from one camera to another, sometimes you'd be holding left to go left, but the next camera you go to will be on the other side of the corridor that you're walking into, so you automatically start walking back into the other room.
Yeah, I've had that happen a couple of times, yeah. And look,
that makes it really hard when you're trying to time your sneak.
Yeah. But the biggest gripe that I have with these games that are being brought forward from older or lower powered devices is that they don't optimize them, because essentially this game should run at 4,000 frames per second on the PS4, right? Because it's really that demanding. But it chugs sometimes, and why does it need to freeze when you're changing cameras? Because it plays like a really cool staticky messed up effect when you're hacking the different cameras, which looks cool, but for like a good second the game freezes. Like, I just don't understand. Like, the PlayStation 4 has enough power to cope with that, and I am making that as an educated guess because it didn't do that in Watch Dogs, and Watch Dogs is a current generation game. So I would expect that they could optimize a game like this to run smoother, whereas it doesn't run perfect. It's not broken, it's not a horrible experience, it's just a couple of things that could be polished in an update.
Well, you just said a word then, experience. Experience is exactly what it is. As you said, the gameplay is, in essence, quite simple, but you brought up a good point also with the character bios. Every single person has a different character bio, why they're there, what they've done wrong, their aliases. So you essentially bring up their passports.
Yeah.
And the newspaper articles, they tell a totally different story. It's the gritty truth behind everything. It's there's a newspaper article, but the reporter is narrating over the top of it, and she's really honest, brutally honest, and everything like this. And there is a really, really big story unfolding here, and we should say it's released episodically, but obviously on PS4 you get the 5 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I was left flabbergasted. I wrote you a message after I finished the first episode. I sat there and done it all in one hit. I think it took me about 4 hours for the initial first playthrough of the first episode, and I'm just like, fucking wow, man. You know, this is kind of different to games I normally play, and sometimes I play a game like this where it's a little bit slower, and then you get to a point you go, fucking just kind of wish the first level had ended now, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I was more than happy to take the time, even with the little staticky 1 second, 2 second lags in loading and everything, to go from camera to camera to camera and work my way back through the cameras to get back to my original spot, because you can't just kind of hit reset and go back to the closest camera near Hope. So the further you go, the longer you've got to come back.
I think you can, can't you? Can't you just press one of the sticks?
Well, I did see an L3 option there, but yeah, it could be just me being naive.
Yeah, because you can click that and it sort of just automatically picks a camera that's on your character.
Yeah, what we should say is if you press R1, you go into OmniView, which means you're taking control of the cameras or the CCTV network. Everything freezes.
Mm-hmm.
Time stops. So you're able to go up, find a guard, you know you're 2 rooms back safe, and then hit R1 and resume time and watch their patrol route.
Yeah.
You know, get that down pat, and then I work my way back via the cameras, double checking all corners and stuff, because I don't want to be caught. And I should say, you do get caught. If you get caught, you get chucked into back into your cell, quarantine, or confinement, I should say, solitary confinement. But you can just hack your way back out, and you're back into the game. But if you have anything on you, say your pepper spray, your taser, anything like that, any contraband, the person that nabbed you and put you into your cell, you have to go pickpocket it back off that person. That's why it's important to understand their patrol routes and their names. Yeah, it's just the way it's all put together. It's an experience, and it's very, very complex for something that comes across as quite simple to start off with. I'm well impressed, and I'm looking forward to a couple more playthroughs.
That's available now on iOS, Android, PlayStation 4, PC, Mac. Yeah. Apparently, I've read that the Mac version, you have simultaneous control over multiple cameras, apparently.
Oh, wow.
I read that. I haven't played it. I just read that somewhere because I don't have a Mac, because I like actually using a computer, not the computer using
me.
Yes.
Dude.
Yeah, good game.
Yeah, and that's my week.
Awesome. All right. Well, that pretty much encompasses my week too. The only thing I can mention is I'm still playing Clash Royale. Actually, I had a run of success the other night, because normally I'm up at around 800 trophies on Clash Royale, and then I smash like 4 or 5 games and I go back to around 700. Now I think I'm up to about 900 and something now. I had a bit of success and had a few wins in a row and got up, and it's going well. How good is it for a massive clan when you request cards and you get a shit ton of them?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in the process of requesting rare ones, and people are coming through.
Yeah, people listening to this, look, you might not be into these games. Don't be like me, because if I stayed the way I was, then I would never have tried Hearthstone. I'd have never have played Clash of Clans, definitely not Clash Royale. Give them a go. Like, they're actually pretty good, and, you know, it can be lonely sometimes when you're backing out a dookie into the dunny. You want a game that you can play. And Clash Royale is good because they only take 3 minutes or whatever maximum.
Yeah.
So if you maybe want to have a quick game before you snooze and go to bed, in bed, just make sure you don't hold your phone over your face when you're playing in bed.
Drop it.
How many times you dropped it on your face, and it fucking hurts when it hits you in the nose. So yeah, that's just Luke's words of wisdom for this week.
Yeah, I don't condone nicotine at all, but I get 2 or 3 games in per cigarette.
Definitely not. You're a bad boy, Red.
Uh-huh.
Bad boy, Red. Much more to talk about. There's no other games. We've been way too sucked in by this division. I still haven't watched Far Cry Primal. I've still got that to play. I haven't finished that. I've got all these awesome games on PC that I'm ignoring. My $500 fucking video cards really just being there to display a screensaver. Hey, it's a fucking good screensaver.
Schmick, top of the line.
Fucking, full 1080p 60 frame screensaver, but fuck, that's all it's been used for because of the fucking Division. Anyway.
But yeah, we got a big month and a half now of game releases also. So.
Oh yeah. So look, as I said, we're going on 2 weeks break. When we will come back from the break, I'm going to have a lot to tell you about Quantum Break because that's coming out in the next week. And I can't wait. It looks fantastic. You might have naysayers like that douchebag Nico.
Nisi, yeah. Nico, our Nick.
Our Nick. Does anybody else think Quantum Break is going to be a flop? No, Nick, you've just recently become a PlayStation fanboy and you just hate the Xbox One because you've just sold your Xbox One. And if it's a fantastic...
yeah.
If it's a fantastic game, you'll be kicking yourself because you won't be able to play it. So you want it to be a failure. That's what it is, Nick. That is what it is.
I'm looking forward to playing Quantum Break.
Yes, because you're inheriting a limited time Xbox One, aren't you?
I am. So I'm looking forward to that. Sunset Overdrive I want to play.
We'll finally be able to see whether your hands catch fire when you touch an Xbox One controller. Anyway, we'll find out.
But yeah, after 2 weeks off, we're going to have like a massive game talk session, I reckon.
Yeah, should do. There's a few cool games coming out. Plus, we'll have the PS Plus games to talk about, which we'll get into very shortly. So how about we finish up video game discussion, talk about some news?
Let's do this.
Right, first up in this week's video game news, I have the PlayStation Plus free games, and free in those like bunny ear, what do you call them, inverted commas, speech thingy, blah, 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 and the games with gold free games for April. And there's some good ones, there's some bad ones, there's some, typical ones. So PlayStation Plus first. On the PlayStation 4, we're going to get Dead Star and Zombie. Out of those ones, I will recommend Zombie. That made it, I think I had a top 12. Probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, I made a top 12 video, or might have been a video, but I think it was a post on the website as well, of my most underappreciated or underrated games from the last generation, and I think Zombie was in there pretty high. I still will say that Zombie is one of my top 3 most favourite zombie survival games. It's a brilliant game. So if you've got PlayStation Plus, definitely pick up Zombie and definitely play it. It's awesome. It's permadeath, but you will come back as another survivor, and it is possible to go and hunt down your... So if you die to a zombie, you become a zombie, right? You come back as another human being. You can go and hunt down and kill your old zombie self and get your shit back. That's really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger, like a step beyond just going and looting your dead body. Your dead body is actually a moving around enemy now because it's a zombie. So you can actually get killed by your old self, which is really neat. And it's a true survival game. There's fuck all ammo. It's all melee stuff. It's top. So great game. PlayStation 3 is getting I'm Alive. That is also another game that I would totally recommend. It is a post-apocalyptic survival game. From memory, there's no zombies. It's just the fall of man. And once again, there is bugger all ammo, but the gun is your weapon, right? This is what's really neat about it. If you've got a pistol, and you can actually go up to an enemy and point it at them, and they will surrender. They're like, hey, look, I don't want any trouble here. But don't pull the trigger, because if you pull the trigger, it'll click, and they know that you've got no bullets, and they'll attack you. Sick, man. This is like poor man's The Last of Us. This is how good a game this is. It's not as good as The Last of Us. Please don't think that I'm putting it in that category, but it's along those lines, and even the character is very similar. to like Joel and his daughter and stuff like that. So check out I'm Alive. It's a fantastic game. Savage Moon, also for the PlayStation 3. I don't know about that game. I'm giving you the name of it. That's it. You do the rest of the research. I've no idea. On the PlayStation Vita, there is Shutshumi or Shoot-Shimi. Fuck, I don't know. It's something. And a virus named Tom. So
I thought you were going to say the sequel to last month's PS Plus games. Shit too.
I don't know what the fuck it is. Shutshimi. Shutshimi.
Shushimi, yeah.
Shushimi? Oh, you don't say the T? Shushimi? I don't know. Some fucking game. And a virus named Tom as well. So, if you're interested in that and you got a PlayStation Vita collecting dust like I do, maybe download them and have a bit of a go. But make sure you've got a fucking decent memory card that'll cost you $1 billion. Sorry, that's just me venting because I'm pissed off at my Vita. Next up, games with gold for April. On the Xbox One, you're going to get The Wolf Among Us. That'll be available all through the month, so April 1st to 30. And also the big banger here, Sunset Overdrive, April 16th to May 15th. So you can't play it at the start of the month, which is a bit of a pain. But towards the end of the month, you'll be able to pick up a AAA game with games with gold, which is pretty neat. And I hope this is a trend that's going to continue throughout the Xbox One games with gold, as well as the PlayStation Plus start giving out some AAA games. The consoles have been around for, what are we up to, year 3?
Yeah, it's almost 3 years.
Come on, start giving away some of those year 1 games at least, at very least. So for the Xbox 360, you'll also be able to pick up Dead Space from April 1st to the 15th and Saints Row 4 April 16th through to the 30th. So Dead Space, I believe, is backwards compatible. I'm not 100% sure about Saints Row 4 being back compat yet, so I can't promise you that one, but it may be. But Dead Space is.
3 of the 4 are high-end games at their release date. You know what I mean?
Look, arguably they're all very...
Oh, Among Us, sorry. Yeah, that's the one I've not ever seen. Sorry, that's 4 of them.
Yeah, Wolf Among Us is still a pretty big... It's a Telltale game, like The Walking Dead and things like that. It's
top tier.
The Fable ones. They're all, it's 4 top-tier games, absolutely. So, yeah, definitely Xbox Live games with gold. If it was a competition, wins the free games for April. Again, yeah.
Yeah, we get shit Shumi too.
No, it's not the sequel, it's the first one. Oh dear, very funny. Alright, so that's the end of that one. That's our free games for next month. Brilliant. Alright, next news item is called Watching Paint Dry.
Paint simulator.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a lot of what I would call shit on Steam, and it has been like that for a while. So if you're looking for a random game you want to play, you're going to have to sift through all the garbage and all the little poo-poo pieces. Some sneaky little indie games on there are brilliant works of art, and some of them are turds that you just can't polish enough. Now this is kind of neither any of those. This particular work of art is called Watch Paint Dry the Game. But the thing is, it's not actually a game. It's more of a protest to show that there's backdoors on how to get your game onto Steam without paying the $100. Please don't waste our time fee and having anyone at Valve even notice. So think of it, watching paint dry the game, like that would be, if it were a game, that would be shit, because all you would do is be staring at a particular color and do absolutely fucking nothing. But yeah, it's not a game. These guys just cheekily got the game onto Steam, and they have a website / blog which shows a step-by-step process on how to do that. But don't bother, because it has been changed. You can't do that anymore. And Watch Paint Dry the Game has been removed from Steam. So I'm glad that happened, but it was on there for a while apparently. I never saw it on there, so I hope this the information I've got is from a a reputable source, but I have been duped in the past from reputable sources. But that's interesting, don't you think? If that could happen.
Oh, absolutely. It just goes to show the filter system they have. It's definitely not quality over quantity.
Yeah,
never really has been, but
it like brings me to a point as well. Like, you can take a look at some of the games that are on Steam, and I know Steam is a nice forum for getting your games on there, but some of them don't even work. Where's the quality assurance? That doesn't exist on Steam.
with the amount of money they've got, they can afford it.
They need to set up a team that's just going through these things, and whether they approve it or not, like, it's a bit silly, like if you
Fuck, we'll do it for 3 days a week for 100,000 a year.
Oh, fucking oath I would.
We could play 10-15 minutes of every game that is on the free-to-play and early access. Yeah, bring it on.
Yeah. But look, if you're actually, I've got an example for you. If you're looking for something that is in the shit shiny turd field, but is an actual game, you can go and download Grass Simulator, and it's on Steam right now for 99 US cents.
A work of shart.
Grass Simulator.
Yeah, yuck.
For ages. I think we've talked about that on the podcast a while ago when it first turned up, but it's on there. So Watch Paint Dry might not be available, but you can get Grass Simulator. Fan-fucking-tastic. Anyway, that's Watch Paint Dry. Let's move on to my last news item, which is probably a bit worth of discussion, I think. PlayStation 4.5. Now, this is a rumour than an actual piece of news. And this is because there's nothing, and I mean nothing, to suggest this is more than just a rumour made up for clickbait and things like that. Just like the Nintendo NX controller that was leaked earlier in the week. So it may be absolute bullshit, but PlayStation, or Sony I should say, haven't come out and ruled it out, and they haven't also confirmed it. So there's about 1 billion articles now on the internet filled with rumours about how Sony are revealing their PlayStation 4.5, or the PlayStation 4K as it might be known as, which has an upped specs, better graphics card, and the ability to output 4K video. The rumours are saying, don't worry though, because they're all saying that future games that come out for the 4.5 or the 4K will also play on your current consoles. They just won't look as good, and there'll be extra features on the other one. I don't believe it, and if it's true, I don't want it.
No, well, why would you? Save it for the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I agree.
Get it right. Like, there's so much RAM in the PlayStation 4 that was not being used, and in the Xbox, and then the big news item was, we've initiated the fourth fucking segment of RAM, and now the PlayStations can pump out this and that. Learn from last generation. They had an Academy Award-winning fucking game of The Last of Us at the end of the generation. Yeah?
Yep.
We have not hit the pinnacle of the 4 or the 1 yet. Like, whether it be parody, whether it be this cross-platform play, whatever it may be, fucking draw the most out of these. It feels cheap, and I feel quite ripped off if they're going to release your slims, release your 1 terabyte, your 2 terabytes, your special edition ones. Look, the Xbox One, the PlayStation, the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, even the 2s and the 1s, they all did that. You had the slim line and everything else like that. But it was across the range, across the board games. If you've got 4K capabilities, are you going to have a PlayStation 4.5 in order to play Call of Duty Black Ops 44? You know? You know what I mean? There's just so many issues.
I also heard it was an argument about, well, the Xbox 360 and the PS3 kind of did the same thing, more so the 360, but where they made comments about how it went from a standard definition console to HDMI, right? But it's not exactly how it worked in the last gen, because the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 could always output your 720, except they used, the PlayStation 3, I believe, came out with HDMI from the get-go. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. But the Xbox 360 didn't have a HDMI port from the beginning. They
had the components.
Composite or component? Yeah, the green, blue, and yellow or whatever it is or something.
Yep.
Coloured plugs, which would give you HD, but was nowhere near as good as HDMI. They re-released the console that had a HDMI port, but it didn't change the console. The console didn't have better specs or anything like that. It just had the ability to output to a different cable. That's all that they did. Now, with the PS4, if they're going to change the guts of the thing, I think it's going to piss off a lot of people. Now, I'm the kind of person that I bought my PlayStation 4 because I wanted the best PlayStation on the market.
10-4.
Okay, now the PlayStation 4.5, should it exist, that would be the best console on the market, but it's still the same fucking thing. It's going to play all the same games. Mine's just not going to be as good. I just think that it's a bad move to do this. Like you said, it needs to wait a few years, another 2 or 3 years, and be a PlayStation 5.
Yes.
And a PlayStation 4.5, in my opinion, after 3 years, sounds like Sony admitting we released a console that wasn't powerful enough for the current generation of games.
And they're resting on their laurels with all the highest sales. There's more PlayStation 4s out in the wild than there's Xbox Ones, or stuff like this.
Well, that's it. Who's going to buy this? Like,
is it a ploy just to sell more?
Oh, but why? If somebody doesn't have a PlayStation 4 yet, why would the PlayStation 4.5 make them buy it?
Yeah. Well, one other argument that was coming up about the 4.5 is that it was more aimed at the functions of the VR.
Yeah, well, that's another thing that's bullshit, because...
What another cop-out.
Yeah, if that happens, I remember we were talking about that, they might come out and say only X games will work on a PlayStation 4 with PlayStation VR, or you will need a PlayStation 4.5 to play the VR. I'll cancel my VR. I won't.
Dude. Well, because we're talking about was it the Oculus, the price difference between the Oculus and the PlayStation VR?
Yeah.
They will be on par.
Yeah, they will be if that happens. Look, we're discussing this basically
speculation.
to speculate, pretending that it exists. I still believe it doesn't.
I don't see why it would. Yeah.
I'm not putting any weight in its existence. I think with the amount of time, like, it's been rumoured for a couple of weeks. I refused to talk about it last week, and I've not written about it because I do think that it's absolute bullshit, and I wanted more information before making a mention of it. But it's just running wild on the internet now that I think that it was probably time that we did bring it up and address it. There's been no confirmations, no denials or anything like that. I'm hoping that PlayStation or Sony are just too busy worrying about VR that they don't even give a fuck that people are talking about the PlayStation 4.5, whether it exists or not. I don't think it does. I think it's a stupid idea.
Well, at the end of the day, hashtag PlayStation is trending.
Yeah.
With all this chatter, so
yeah,
any publicity is good publicity for them at the moment.
Yeah. But it's just, I'm the sort of person I would like to get 100% out of what I have before moving on. Now, the PlayStation 4, like you said, and the Xbox One, they've not hit their peak. They haven't got games yet that take advantage of their abilities yet.
No way. Mm-hmm. No way. And especially like with the Xbox One now, with dev kit abilities and stuff like that, We've still got a whole generation to run. Are we up to 4K yet? Oh fuck no, mate. Those yes, you can buy a 4K TV, and the only thing you can watch in 4K is the fucking demo DVD thing that they give you.
Yeah.
And nothing's aired in 4K. There's no games in 4K. There's no 4K Blu-rays.
Well, I was just about to say 4K to me. What it means to me, the thing that I think of when I hear 4K is fuck loads of data. Now, I don't think anywhere in the world is really ready for 4K. If we start getting 4K movies, are we...
Fucking 5-6 gigabyte movies. Or more.
Is a 4K movie going to fit on a Blu-ray?
No way.
Because
Blu-ray's 1080, aren't they?
Blu-rays are 1080, yep.
And they're 25 gig.
Yeah. I think 4K, well, it would be 4 times that, wouldn't it?
Essentially, yes.
I don't foresee a 4K future just yet because everything's too big. Like, we're only just getting the NBN sorted out in Australia. I don't have it. You don't know when you're going to get it. A lot of people haven't got a clue. Without the NBN, 4K's a wipe for me because generally we're going to a digital world and there would be fuck all chance of me streaming anything 4K at the moment. I don't know, maybe with my NBN that I might be able to stream 4K. There are a little bit of 4K content, I believe, on Netflix, but I don't know exactly how that works and the amount of data that's going to be required for that. If we're going to be upscaling games into 4K or having native 4K in the PlayStation 4.5, the game's not going to fit on the fucking disc. How are you going to buy the game? I just can't. There's just not enough there that makes me think this might be true. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a 4K movie, man, at an hour and a half, hour 45. You're looking at, to stream it, you're looking to try and download 20 to 25 gigabytes in an hour and a half.
Yeah, see, it's just, there's just nothing there that has made me say, hey, well, maybe this is true. You know, they haven't come out with, like, Orange Ray or, some other color spectrum for a disc that'll, carry 100 gig or something like that.
Yeah, that's a quad layer fucking Blu-ray, No.
Yeah.
The only way they're going to be able to deliver shit like that is with SD. Or, your cards.
Yeah, but anyway, I don't think it's true. So we'll see. Look, it might come eventually. This might come. I'm hoping it's just the PlayStation 5 in 3 years' time. But even more.
Even then, 5 years.
Yeah, even then, another 5 would probably be all right. Let's just get to a point where we can get 1080p on everything.
And 60 frames. If you can tick those boxes,
yeah,
we're ready to start planning ahead.
Let's not jump ahead to 4K when we can't do 1080 60.
Yeah. And it's pretty basic in today's day and age. Like, certain games that are derived from your older ones, like we talked last week why Dark Souls would be 30 frames. But that's come from a generation where 30 frames is the norm.
Yeah.
Let's get these new IPs with their sequels. Let's fuck off some of the dead weight and be hitting 1080 60 constantly. No network fucking issues. No fucking having to shut down for 3 fucking hours in order to get rid of a fucking boss that always spawns. Let's get right what we've got now before we fucking move on. And that's got to be parity across console, PC, or Sony, Microsoft, and PC. Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Let's get it right first.
Agreed. All right, let's move on to your news, buddy.
That was fucking sick, man.
Yeah,
All brought up.
Conversation. Cheers, man.
Rightio. So, Far Cry Primal. You could put that off for another couple of weeks if you wanted to, Luke. Though it is released the day of incursions, April 13. We'll see. Far Cry Primal did a new free permadeath survival mode.
Okay.
So one go. So there's a couple of little things that you can add and take away. Like you can go into the options and put your mini-map on, which is default off, or you can elect to have 2 lights instead of 1. But here are the bigger changes. The difficulty will be a spike. There will be a stamina gauge that can only be replenished via sleep. More fog. No mini-map. Fast travel will consume stamina and food. You'll encounter fewer humans and animals. Animal taming will be more difficult. The owl can no longer drop bombs on enemies. And tame animals that die are dead for good. What do you reckon about that?
Oh, yeah, it sounds good. I like how you can elect to have 2 lives. That's cool. Just a little bit of a backup.
Yeah, safety net. And there's guaranteed. There is a guaranteed special item, special thing when you finish the game on this mode. So they're not going to allude to anything there. But yeah, PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, April 13, Survivor mode, Far Cry Primal. Sounds like your thing. Get amongst it. It'll make for a good stream, I reckon. So I'm yet to play it. I don't know if I'm crazy enough to go straight into Survivor mode though. Weeksy would, because yeah, who gives a fuck about Heart Attack?
Yeah, because Weeksy's Weeksy. Fucking off though. He swears and carries on, but he does it.
He does. He gets it done. Yeah, he's a evolver like that.
Battler.
Yeah. Moving on. Final Fantasy 15. So Square Enix has confirmed the rumoured release date of September 30.
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy 15. So looks pretty cool. So there's a few things I want to cover really quickly. So there's going to be 3 editions. There'll be Standard, Deluxe, and Ultimate Collectors. So you're looking at 80, 100, and probably 400 editions of the game for the PS4 and the Xbox One. There is also a new demo called Platinum Demo. It's available right now. So I actually haven't checked on the store, but it'd be. I've seen people on my friends list playing it because when you wanted to play the first Final Fantasy 15 demo, you only got that with a pre-order of another Final Fantasy game, which was poo. So look in the free-to-play section on your PlayStation Store. Should be there. There's also going to be a 5-part anime series called Brotherhood Final Fantasy 15, which describes and puts together the friendship of the motley crew that you're going to control through Final Fantasy 15. It'll be streamed for free, so you can get that on the net, and you can watch it for nothing. So without piracy laws or anything coming into it. So go ahead and Google that. You'll most likely find it on YouTube if you don't really want to go looking anywhere else for media like this. Also, there's going to be a CG movie that kind of blurs the lines between animation and reality called Kingsglaive Final Fantasy. And it's going to have a couple of Game of Thrones actors, Lena Headey and Sean Bean. I bet you he dies. Jesse, or Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad.
Yep.
He's going to be one of the main blokes in there also. And it'll tell the story, the events that lead to the war that envelops the Kingdom of Lucius, which will be one of the plot lines, I believe, in Final Fantasy 15 game. So after a few years off and 17 HD remasters, the new one looks like it's got a lot of potential. There's a lot of videos, a few new trailers, and the demo trailer and everything out now, and they've always been a generation ahead of their time when it comes to graphics on each console and everything like that. So let's look forward to a bit more news coming out about that closer to date. I'm definitely going to keep a keen eye on it. Last but not least, some confirmations and some rumours on GTA 6. So the confirmation is they are working on it. The confirmation is back in 2003 there were trademarks registered for GTA Tokyo, GTA Bogota, and GTA Sin City. So GTA 5 was going to be set in Tokyo, or it was a strong notion for it, to the point where they went over, visited, checked it all out, everything like that. But basically the streets and the setting didn't really fit GTA. And let's be serious here. How much of the rednecks and obesity and just America's underbelly do they take the piss out of in GTA 5? You know, it's just, it'd probably be racist if someone in America developed a game based somewhere else in the world and they got that slanderous, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's a taboo to talk about these things, and there is so much, whether it be radio, the TV, just NPCs having a chat, what you can do, that I think it had to stay based in America. I wouldn't mind a GTA Sin City. Vegas, baby.
Oh, is that what it is? Right. What about GTA Outback? GTA Australia.
Humperoo.
Oh, he's riding kangaroos. Quad bikes.
So, yeah, there's not much more I can talk about that with factual information, but GTA 6 is in production or in development, so that is coming. It could be in, well, it could still be in Tokyo, Bogota, or Vegas, or somewhere completely new. So they're working on it. There's been no location set, no plot line has been leaked or given to the media, but for all those that are GTA 5 fans, there will be a 6, so that is good news.
And it'll be released on September 20th, 2018.
Probably. Probably. Well, how many? Here we go. I've got it written down here. 60 million copies worldwide of GTA 5 have been sold.
Very nice.
And it's still just a buzzing community. There's still hundreds of people streaming daily GTA Online, so... That's my news, bro.
All right. Lovely. Thank you very much. That was a great news segment. So let's move on now to What's That Sound?
Oh, very good.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Okay, right. So last week we had, I believe it was this one. Have a listen. And what was that sound?
Mario, Super Mario dying.
That's right. Now, to be absolutely specific, it was the new Super Mario Brothers death sound effect. So,
I don't think you bleeped out my answer too.
Oh, didn't I?
No.
No wonder Roy got it.
Oh, snap. You'll hear about this about 7:30 a.m. Sunday morning, because he always gets on, jumps forward to the What's That Sound, then goes back and listens to the show. He loves What's That Sound.
I don't think there was any point in bleeping it out anyway.
No.
That was an easy one. It was a gimme. All right, I got this one. Hopefully I won't have to bleep it out, because maybe you won't get it. But have a listen. Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. Have a listen to this one.
I sense great sorrow and misery.
That's another one of those shit talker voices.
Shit talker?
Oh, come on. Do you remember back in the day you were able to get a program, it was called Shit Talker version 1.2, and you could type in and the computer would say it, and it'd say it in this tone?
Oh, I don't think no, it's like an actual person. Have a listen.
I sense great sorrow and misery.
Okay.
I think that's an effect on it, because it's a character.
Yeah.
From a video game. Whoa, there's 2 tips, 2 hints.
Mass Effect.
No. Very good, but no.
No, I have no idea.
I don't know why I said very good, because it was wrong.
I sense great sorrow and misery.
No idea?
Nah, no idea.
You are incorrect, and I don't have to bleep, so I won't forget. If you think you know what this week's What's That Sound is, then send us a message to our Facebook page. And if you are correct with your answer, I'll give you a free game. That one... Yeah, it's a tricky one. I don't know, it might be Googleable. I don't know, because it's a specific line, but it may... I don't know, maybe. I haven't Googled it to see if it works, but I don't care how you find the answer. If you find the answer and you send it, it's correct, you get a free game. Congratulations. And kudos to Roy Boy, who's won the last 2 weeks in a row. So let's knock him off his perch and get somebody else in for a win, hey? Alright, well that's it for What's That Sound. That's a nice quick segment there, so let's jump in the car, screech the tyres a little bit, head down to the pub, and Red, you can have your shout.
Yes, look, I made a promise. I put a post up, it was more of a meme, on the page here a little while ago about Call of Duty then versus now.
Yeah.
So you had the depiction of something that looked like a Vietnamese World War II setting, being Call of Duty early days, to Call of Duty now, where they're doing the whip and nay or something like that.
Oh,
some fucking dance.
Yeah, watch me nay, that stupid song.
Yeah, I think it's a dance from that, only because I read one of the bloody comments in here. I don't get into that sort of music. I'm
For the record, me neither.
More of a Mozart man. And I got a lot of buzz. I got a fair bit of buzz. COD just seems to have the knack to strike a nerve, whether it be positive, negative, or indifferent. It has that ability. So I thought I got on there and people were getting around it, so I thought, rightio, I'm going to read out some of the more popular comments from the post, and here we go.
Cool.
Alex McDonald. Me personally, I like the older Call of Duties better. I'm with you. I love it, from Declan Brennan. Caleb Walker. They look like the Power Rangers. And they fucking do. Matthew Cole. I miss the old Call of Duty. The Call of Duty nowadays sucks. Yep. Roy Boy. Medal of Honor and the World War II Call of Duties were the best. Their campaigns were loosely based on histories, and new Call of Duties have no appeal to me. And I reckon everyone that it doesn't have any appeal to is in the 30-plus bracket.
Yeah.
Joshua Dewsbury, gone from cool to stupid.
That's fucking spot on. Spade.
Eric Geester, and yet Black Ops 3 is still the highest selling game in the last 6 months or so work that shit out.
Yeah.
We are all sheep.
It's still a good game. It just doesn't have the the subject matter anymore.
Yeah, and esports have a little to do with it, I wish you would assume.
Yeah.
Victor Rainieri, go back to old school, no running, no wall running, no double jump, etc.
I'm with you. Yep, I agree.
Brady Parker, if only we could go back to the old ones. Backwards compatibility.
Yeah, I want to play Modern Warfare. Oh, I think is it 1 or 2? 2, I think.
With the
Two.
Spec Ops.
Yeah, but there was a map that I'm thinking of that I really used to own on, and it had a house in the middle, had like a boat shed, and then down the, like it sloped down, and then it had like another, like a garagey sort of thing, shed down the bottom. What else was in it?
The boat shed down the bottom.
It had a boat shed up the top.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I don't know the name of it for the life of me.
No, but I used to own on that one.
Number 2,
Yeah, the B2, yeah.
because I never played multiplayer on number 1.
Yeah, I might chuck that back in the PS3. Get it updated and installed. Probably won't.
Backwards compatible, wait for that.
Yeah.
Jason Kemp, what happened to good COD? Now it's shit with all this flying around. And my personal favourite, COD didn't get shit. I did. I didn't see that till last night, because obviously we don't get our own notifications.
Yeah, was that me? Sorry about that.
So I went in there, just checking the post out last night and giving people the heads up and saying it's last opportunity if you want to get a shout out on the podcast. And it's like, COD didn't get shit. And I'm like, who the fuck? I did. I did like it. I did like it a lot. So, yeah, that's the shout out. There's a lot more people on there just tagging their mates and sharing it around. I do appreciate all that, but if I was to run through that, it'd actually take me into episode 121, and I was promised a couple of week break. So, to all those out there, still appreciate your input and everything like that. Yeah. I look forward to a new shout in a couple of weeks.
Cool, thanks guys. Thank you everyone. Thanks Red, good job. That's it, we're up to the last words. Red, you got any last words before we finish the show?
Bring on incursions.
Oh yeah, I'm keen for those. That's not too far away. What date did you say that was?
12th.
12th or 13th. That's all right. Quantum Break comes out on the 5th, so I'm keen for that.
That gives you a week.
What's that?
That gives you a week.
Yeah, to download the fucking thing.
You didn't... Yeah, how big's that again?
Yeah, 45 gigabytes for Quantum Break. Okay, it's a AAA game. It's big.
That's okay.
That's fine. But it comes with a companion, which is the TV series. So if you buy it digitally, you also get the opportunity to download the TV series. I don't know how many episodes there are, but it's 75 gigabytes. It's almost twice the size of the fucking game. Unless there's 200 episodes or they go for like 4 hours each. I don't know, but that's a massive download. So I'm going to wait till I get the NBN installed before I even bother trying to download that.
It'll be Blu-ray, surely. It's going to be a mini-series of 3 to 6 episodes in 1080.
Yeah, that'd be what it is. Now, as for actually downloading Quantum Break, got 38% done last night, overnight.
Fuck yeah. Well, I downloaded Heavy Rain. I got 8 gig done in one night, and that was a little bit slow because Beyond Two Souls also downloaded 8 gigs, so I had to stop that. I went last night at, well, what time did I go to bed? 11:30 last night. I'll say goodnight to you boys. Turned my PlayStation off, went, fuck, didn't resume my download. Turned the PlayStation back on, resumed Heavy Rain. It had 11 gigs, so I had 23 to go, and that was done at 8:15 this morning.
Cool. Hey, does your PlayStation do this? If I pause a download, like let's just say I'd start something now,
yeah.
if I don't unpause it, tomorrow when I get back on, it'll have automatically downloaded it.
At 2 o'clock in the morning they restart, yeah.
Yeah, even though it's been paused.
Yep, yeah.
It's bad if you've got a cap and you don't want it to download.
I think you can stop it.
Yeah, you could probably turn it off.
Because it's something to do with your PS Plus, because mine restarts its download every time my PS3 turns on and syncs.
Well, you could probably just turn it off instead of going into rest mode, then it won't do that.
Yeah.
Problem.
Oh, yeah, well, if it's off, yeah, it won't download.
Yeah. But anyway, that's cool. So, yeah, Quantum Break, it's got some massive shit, but I'm looking forward to playing that.
I'm fucking looking forward to checking it out after watching probably, 3 minutes of gameplay with the time-bending physics.
Yeah, all the effects and stuff look really cool. So I reckon that's going to be a neat game, but we'll talk about all that in a couple of weeks when we return with a little bit of a refresher to the show, and hopefully it works and it's not sucky. Try not to break it. All good. All right, well, look, it's been a short show this week, but we blame The Division for that because it's all we really played, but I don't really have anything else to add if you don't, Red.
Nah, goodbye to all you guys for a couple of weeks, and I'll be talking to you. So,
yep,
I won't be missing. I'm not missing out on too much there, but if you listen to the podcast, send us a message. I hear from Martin Creamers a whole lot. He's a competition winner, avid podcast listener. Yeah, get amongst it. Let's play some games together. We got 2 weeks off now. We're gonna put our nose to the drawing board and try and make this fresh and new for all the people that do come along from week to week. Make yourself known. Let me shout you out. Let me fucking play some games with you. Or
we see the hit counter for the amount of people that listen to the show, and there's a whole heap more people that listen to the show than people message us. Send us a message. Either email us, info@aussiegamersexpress.com, or the Facebook message thingy to the page, anything like that. Shoot us a line, even if it's just to say, hey guys, listen to your show. It was shit. But whatever, just let us know. I would actually like to hear people telling us what we do wrong rather than nothing.
Yeah?
If that makes sense, yeah.
Well, no, that means we've impacted.
Yeah, well, that's true. So if you like...
So it's always a positive.
Yeah, if you like a part of the show or you dislike a part of the show, if you dislike me, well, nobody dislikes Red, but if you dislike me, or love me or think I'm your favourite, fucking absolutely. Send me a line. If you impress me enough, I'll give you something for free for being really nice to me. I don't know.
I tell you, I'm not fat. It's a thyroid problem. Fuck.
Big pound.
Big pound.
Nice. All right, thank you everyone for listening, and some of you have been listening for 120 episodes plus, so thank you very much to everyone who's been there, and also thank you to our newcomers. You guys are important too for our future going forward, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you very much. I've been LewkOne.
And I've been Red.
This week's show has sadly come to an end. Be sure to search for Aussie Gamers Express on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, iTunes, and just about every other social network known to man. If you have any snail mail you want to send us, shoot it over to P.O. Box 130, Cranebrook 2749. Catch you all next time on the Aussie Gamers Express Video Game Podcast.